Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Dana Parrott, who is the Family and Consumer Science Agent at the Nelson County Extension Office.
Correct.
And we're again cooking today.
Uh-huh.
And last month we cooked some nice healthy stuff here at the
That's
Extension Office, which we really try to do. But as we were leaving, I gave her a challenge. We're doing this in September, and in Central Kentucky we have the Bourbon Festival and we have Country Ham Days in Lebanon. So we have the two festivals there, and I said, let's try and get something that includes either one or the other, right?
Right.
And what we end up doing is going to be with country ham, because I think there's nothing that you can do healthy with bourbon.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Creative, maybe.
Exactly. So today we're going to do slow cooker potatoes with country ham.
That's right. I figure the best way to do it, instead of talking about making a country ham as a main dish, is talking about ways to use your leftover country ham, because I know that everybody gets tired of sandwiches and things like that after they have a country ham, and so I think that this is a really good side dish, and it's very easy to make.
And potatoes, I love potatoes.
Everybody loves potatoes.
Yes. All right, and we're using the slow cooker.
We are. And it's, fall is the time of year that everybody kind of gets their slow cookers out. You really should use them all year long because they're so easy, but fall is whenever people start thinking about them, so I figured it was good timing.
And people might know them better as like a brand name as the crock pot, right?
Right.
But there's various different names, obviously,
Right.
but it's a slow cooker. What's the premise behind a slow cooker?
Really the benefit of it is just that you can put everything in at once, walk away, leave it all day, go home to a home-cooked meal. It cooks somewhere between 200 and 300 degrees, and you set the timing that it is. It turns itself off, and it can cook your meat and your vegetables all at once.
Okay.
So it's good.
So while you're out working, it gives you the opportunity to have a nice meal when you get
Right.
home.
That's exactly
And
right.
safe.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly. The Food Service Agency, they've all looked at it, and it cooks to proper temperatures. It's ready to go. So.
Fantastic. Okay. So we have our slow cooker potatoes with country ham. Besides we have potatoes and we have country ham, right?
That's right.
What else are we going to put into this?
This one does have some interesting ingredients that you don't usually use. You've got rosemary sprigs, and then you've got garlic, you have a bay leaf, and then salt and pepper and chicken broth. So it's not very many ingredients, which those are my favorite type of recipes. But it's not weird enough ingredients that you can't find at the grocery store.
Right.
So it's all there.
Okay, great. So what's our process here?
Okay, so the first thing that we did was dice our potatoes, which I've already pre-cut everything. But you use 2.5 to 3 pounds of potatoes, preferably the red-skinned ones.
Okay.
And you can peel them if you want, but all of the nutritional value of potato is in the peel. Which one time I had a little girl say, well, that's just what lazy adults say when they don't want to peel potatoes. But that's the truth. There really is, it's vitamin C and vitamin B6, potassium, it's all in the peel. So
Okay.
if you like the taste of it, definitely keep it on.
And the red skin's better than other potatoes?
I think there's just a different flavor to it, and so I think that's why this recipe calls for it. I prefer red skin potatoes, but I eat all potatoes. So.
Yeah, if you put them in too long, some of them might get kind of mushy, I guess, too. So it might
and it is a texture difference. Some of them are crisper than others.
Right.
So.
Okay. So you have 2.5 to 3 pounds of the red skin potatoes. Okay.
The most important thing with this dish is to make sure that your number of potatoes doesn't overwhelm your crock pot. You want to fill your crock pot half to 3/4 full. If you get more than 3/4 full, you're too full on your crock pot. It's not going to cook consistently. So even if
there are different sizes of crock pots.
That's right. So we do have a small one here today. So even if you cut more potatoes, just fill it 3/4 full.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Something to think about. The other thing, the country ham, you can use fresh country ham that you've peeled off. I used slices of country ham and just peeled them up.
Some of that.
But you can use it however you want. It says 6 to 8 ounces, so I just made sure that that's how much I had, and I peeled it up. So
Okay.
that's an option. 2 cloves of garlic that you just thinly slice. 4 to 6 sprigs of rosemary, which actually was the whole package that they sold at the grocery store.
Okay.
1 bay leaf, a teaspoon of salt with 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper, and then 3 cups of chicken broth.
Okay, super. Now, how much will this make?
It says it serves 6 to 8 as a side dish, which is usually that's enough for a whole family. So
Right.
it's
Okay.
good.
Very good.
So it's an option.
Okay. So our first thing is?
First thing we're going to do is just layer our potatoes. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can preheat your crock pot.
Okay.
So if something says to cook 5 to 6 hours, you can turn your crock pot on. That way it's getting 5 to 6 hours of actual cook time, and you don't have to take in that time for it to heat up. It's not a necessary step, But for things like potatoes that it takes a while for them to get tender, I do like to preheat the crock pot.
So you did start the crock pot earlier.
So I just turned it on, and this calls for 5 to 6 hours, so I just went ahead and turned it on 6 hours.
Okay.
Just about 30 minutes ago. So they'll get 5.5 hours of just good cook time.
Okay.
So that's good.
Great. And do you had to set the temperature, or does it automatically?
It does it itself.
Okay.
Low is about 200 degrees, and high is about 300 degrees.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And any recipe that calls, for you to use your slow cooker, it will tell you high to low.
Okay.
So
and
you
that's
know what to do.
consistent among slow cookers.
It
so-
is, no matter
okay.
what brand it is or how big it is. That's a consistent thing.
Okay.
So you just put a layer of potatoes in, and then you just layer it with all of these things. Put some country ham in there, and you can make the chunks of country ham as big or as small as you want. It's a flavor thing for it, but then you're going to eat it. So if you like big chunks, put that in there. So we're just going to layer that. Put in some rosemary, and the sprigs you can just put right in there.
So you leave them on the.
You can.
Okay.
A little bit of garlic. A little bit of salt and pepper, and you just keep layering it. And then one thing that a lot of people, we've got 3 cups of chicken broth there, and when you put things in the crock pot, you want to make sure that whatever liquid you're using covers up your ingredients.
Okay.
The liquid is what ensures the heat transfer, and so that's what makes your things cook, because it has
Okay.
the steam and
It's the
everything.
conduit.
That's right. And so make sure that you have enough liquid to cover all of your ingredients.
Okay. And that's still maintaining the potatoes not being more than a third. So.
Right.
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 You want to have the liquid
right.
be more than that.
That's exactly right.
Now, when this is all done, will you have to take the rosemary sprigs out?
I would, because I would not eat that, but there are people who eat that. So.
Yes.
And we're not going to use them all, just because I do have the smaller crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole recipe does call for them. The bay leaf, you just tuck it in there. It's a flavor thing, but you do take the bay leaf out before you eat it,
Okay.
because they're bad for your digestive system. They can be very abrasive.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, and that's with any time you use bay leaves. Bay leaves are wonderful for cooking and for flavoring things, but they are very abrasive on your digestive system.
So you definitely want to take them out.
So something to watch, that's right. And then again, we're just going to cover with the chicken broth,
Okay.
3 cups of it.
Again, this is the slow cooker potatoes with country ham.
And one thing, I'm going to grab a spoon here. One thing with crock pots is a lot of people like to mess with the food that they're making. And they will lift and stir and take the lid off and check on it. Every time you take the lid off of your crock pot, you automatically lose about 10 to 15 degrees. And so then every time you take the lid off, you have to add 30 minutes of cook time on.
Oh, wow.
And so crock pots are designed not to take the lid off.
Yeah.
So then that's what we'll do. We'll put the lid on, and then we don't have to touch it for 6 hours, where it'll turn itself off and we're ready to eat. So
Fantastic.
that's right.
So in 6 hours, we have dinner.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Cool. So this is the slow cooker potatoes with country ham. Dana took on the challenge there, right?
That's right.
And so we have our red skinned potatoes, we have our rosemary, the country ham, garlic, salt, pepper, bay leaf, and then you have the chicken broth,
That's right. Which
In
you
there.
can add butter. I didn't, just because that's calories, things like that. And it was just a flavor thing. But you can add 2 tablespoons of butter if you want at the end.
Or you
So.
can put them on after they're on your
Or
plate.
that's exactly right, which is what most people do.
Yes.
I actually usually cut down on the salt too, because most people are going to salt them
Yeah,
anyway.
I'll do that
So,
too.
That's right. That's right. So try to make it healthy while you cook it, and then it's up
Right.
to their control.
Exactly, and then let them season to
That's right, to
flavor.
taste, that's right.
So this is a slow cooker potatoes with country ham. You can get the recipe from the Nelson County Extension Office or from any of the Extension offices in Marion, Washington, or Nelson counties, or contact us at Central Kentucky Television. We'd be happy to do that. We'll also put it on our website so you can have a copy of that, because that sounds really good.
I think it does too. I'm excited about it. I'll let you know in 6 hours how it tastes.
Okay, let me know. Exactly. And you can try it yourself too and find out. And remember to take out your bay leaf.
That's right.
Because you don't want to do that. And try some different stuff with your slow cooker. Right?
That's right.
Because it seems very convenient.
Very, yes, it is. Very handy.
And you have some other recipes for slow cookers.
Oh, tons.
Yes.
We have books of them here. So.
Okay, fantastic. So if you're working and then you come home and have a good meal, you can use your slow cooker. This has been Gary White at the Nelson County Extension Office.